Hello everyone, welcome back to the Revival. Today sees the first game in the group stages of the World Cup, Germany versus Russia. So without any further ado, we'll go straight into that game and then we can talk about what's going on as far as the contract situations at Newcastle United. So it's a strong team from Germany. We're not going to play to Stegen today. Not looking too great. Got a choice of Leno or Neuer. Leno is the heir apparent, with Neuer being, let's be honest, he's aging. He's getting older. He's 36. It's still not too old for a goalkeeper, but he's getting to the point now where this is probably his last World Cup, if we're honest. Elsewhere in the team, defensive midfield, we're not looking too hot. So let's go with Emre Can in that position, and at left back we haven't got many natural options at left back, but what we do have is a lot of players who can play in varied positions. Just trying to think. Rudiger might be. See, the thing is, I want to play Henriks on the right. Actually, I'm just wondering now. Kimmich can't play left, no. Okay. We're definitely going to play Henriks. And let's play Rudiger on the left. Emre Can is a right footer anyway. Okay, so that's our team for today, to begin with at least. So Germany are a different kettle of fish from Newcastle. We play a more counter-attacking style with long passing. We like to attack out wide, which is similar to Newcastle. A bit more of a structured team. We're not quite as fluent, but very quick on the counter-attack. We'll have Sane on the bench so we can take advantage later on as Russian legs tire. It's been an interesting build-up to the World Cup. We've had a mixture of results. We've had wins, losses and draws. Only the one loss, it was against Brazil, I believe. We went 1-0 up and ended up losing 2-1. Other than that, we've had a couple of draws, mostly due to the suicidal defending of my own making.
Is finally over. Day one of the grandest event in world football, and a grand welcome to you as you join us for our live coverage of what we hope will be a game that sets it
Right,
off
here we go then.
And
the World Cup kicks off.
This really is the best of the beautiful game.
As you can probably tell, this game not being held in Qatar, that would be a stupid thing to do, holding a World Cup in a desert.
Well, this really is one of the monuments to the history of our game, especially, of course, this Scottish game. It is Celtic Park, Glasgow. Point blank.
I like it. We're supposed to be playing the World Cup in Qatar. We're actually playing at Celtic Park.
Brandt.
Oh, early chance. Oh, he's put it off the bar. Oh, my word.
These early exchanges have been frenetic.
My aunt
Looks
is
like
so
we
giddy.
have a proper game on our hands, Peter.
Here are Russia now looking to break if they can. They're not having much luck there. And hold up the ball in midfield, lump it forward. No luck there though. They have got it back off of the defender, who was a little bit too lackadaisical with his second touch.
Receives it in a good position.
Oh, there. Oh, I'll tell you what, Russia are very unlucky not to be ahead there. We're going to have to improve if we want to get anything out of this game.
Quick thinking almost paid off in real style.
Okay, ball out to Rudiger, playing in an unfamiliar position on the left-hand side. Germany suffering from a real lack of options in the left-back slot at the moment.
Gnabry. Henriks. I wonder what you've seen, Jim, over the early moments of the game.
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up.
Can't get the better of his opposite number.
Oh, we've tackled each other there, that's poor.
Played in
Must
with
do
accuracy.
better. Must do
Rudiger
better.
positions himself well and cuts it out.
Well, they would seem to be trying to expose the centre of that
For goodness
defence
sake.
to runners.
Makes for some terrific movement.
It does, and
Very
they may be
fortunate
hit
not
on
to
the
have the
break
foul given
because
for that,
obviously
to be
it
honest.
requires numbers forward to stretch them out.
That's good running. If Royce can get the
He's
cross
slid
in
it
here, he
through.
can, but the goalkeeper's too quick.
Keeper's ball. Golovin. Well, that's where he wants it.
Nothing doing. The Russians pick it up in the middle of the park again, and they look to exploit the left
And
wing.
he's going long. Oh, he couldn't
Just
quite make it.
Cancelled to make sure that I left the ball there. I didn't want to knock it out for a throw-in. It's a German throw.
Henriks. And it's played forward.
Henriks down the right side, whips it
In towards
across.
the middle.
Is the header? It's all gone wide.
Now he couldn't
That's
get the
unusual from
direction he
Werner.
needed.
Normally from that kind of
Plenty
range,
moving
he
targets
is
to stick out of the
deadly.
box. Obviously
But it's a
increases
good
your
cross,
chances
and
of
it's
the
the
ball
two
being met
Newcastle
like that
lads,
by
predictably for
someone.
us, combining to create the chance. You fancy if he gets another chance like that, he'll bury it.
Over to the left. That is terrific skill. Tries to
Lob
stroke
through
it through.
ball there, they've caught us
Tries the
out.
cross.
Goalkeeper does well to parry it away. Manuel Neuer using every year of his 36 years of experience.
Forward it goes.
Okay, that's an interesting way to
He's
control
made
the
sure
ball.
that that won't get through.
Russia get it back.
Played to a promising move.
Really shouldn't have. Hummels very,
Oh,
very
good
solid in
interception.
defence. That's a great pass.
Cross
Oh,
needed
it's
to be
just
better
picked
than
up
that,
by the Russian.
and he knows it.
Half a
Needs to
yard
get it
the other
forward
way
quickly.
and it would have been untouchable.
Looked promising, but eventually thwarted without doing any harm. Brandt.
No, that's not right.
That's one way of trying to make
Didn't
things happen.
work.
There's a few who could follow that example.
Russia doing a pretty good
And
job
he's
of the counter
onside.
here.
Fired in.
Goes out for a goal kick, I believe. 35 minutes on the clock and nothing really doing. A couple of chances, but as of yet, nothing to show for it.
Henriks.
Oh dear, that was not the pass I wanted. I wanted to try and get it into Emre Can.
Just brushed off the ball there.
Yeah, he's given away a
The
foul.
referee's
This could
awarded
be
a
a
free
yellow
kick.
card for him. It is.
And he has shown him a yellow
The
card.
ex-Liverpool player put in the referee's book. First booking of the World Cup. Need to be careful here. A floated ball into the box could be very dangerous. Not the best of clearances, it has to be said.
Comes under pressure and it's come loose.
That's not bad though.
Forward tracking
Oh
back
dear,
like
that
always
is
appreciated
that's
by the
terrible,
crowd.
and it's put us
You
in
have to
trouble.
admire commitment
And if
like
Russia
that,
find the
because
right
he could
ball,
easily ignore that and
it
just
could
kind
be
of
very
walk
difficult
around
to
and let
defend
others do all
against.
the chasing, but instead he looks as if he relishes the chance
Through ball,
to dig in for his
headed
team.
out. Nice little backheel through ball to set off the
Now,
counter
chance
attack.
to break.
Lobbed
He's
in,
looked long this
Werner on the
time.
run. Can he get to it? It's going to be no, it's out of
Come to
play
nothing.
for a goal kick. And again, it's looking very, very laborious, very difficult for the Germans. Headed clear, but straight into the possession of a Russian midfielder. This could be
That's straight out
something
wide.
here if they're not careful.
Good challenge. He just
It's
stood
well
firm.
intercepted. Someone got a foot in.
Plays it out to the wing. And
There's
the
Brandt
counter
on the
is
left.
on.
Oh, he just about gets past. I don't know how exactly.
Gets away from his opponents. And he's
Into the
whipped it
box.
in low. Jikia with the clearance.
Germany's
Henriks
still on the
puts
ball.
it back. And here's Royce.
Ah, damn it.
We hit half-time.
That's it, half-time. It was, in truth, a very poor first half.
Been a bad game by any means.
Going to have a look at the tactics, change things around a
Review
little
the
bit.
first half.
Germany may probably be feeling a little aggrieved about not capitalising on such a bright start. Their mood at half-time should be more upbeat. The glass remains half full and it should spur them on.
An engrossing half, but we're still where we started, 0-0.
We'll stick with the same players as the first half, but a change in attacking philosophy might see us
Gets underway.
get a little bit more joy out of this. I feel like we're the better team in possession, but it's having to try and force things on the break, which is letting us down.
Despite this scoreline, converting chances would make a world of difference for them.
So we're just going to try and be a little bit more patient. Let our quality on the ball show.
Rudiger. Royce. And here's Canapri.
That's nice.
Oh,
Just
well
good
played.
defending,
He needed
just
to get
knocks
that
him
right.
off. It's gone out for a corner.
And that has been cleared.
There's Rudiger again.
Golovin gets good distance on it.
Hooked out of play by Golovin.
Hit
Cross,
into the-
header,
Hey!
goal!
Goal!
First goal for Germany of the World Cup, and it's Timo Werner, as if it was going to be anyone else. Brilliant header by the German. They're all Germans, of course. It's a nice cross into the box. I believe it was Havertz. Goalkeeper should have done much better, but Timo Werner, given the opportunity on his head, doesn't fail twice. And that should hopefully relax things a little bit. We'll see a little bit more free-flowing football now.
Well, whatever the manager said in that dressing room at half-time, it's worth the treat.
Chan. Brandt.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, everything until the finish was great. It was good interception as well. He kept the hustle going. It's gone out for a goal kick, but you've got to enjoy that. Nice. Just got the ball into space, unleashed the shot, and it was really unfortunate. The goalkeeper was right on top of it. And again, the Russians pick up on the loose ball from the header. They're very good at winning this second ball, and it could put Germany in trouble if they're not careful.
Goes for a sweeping cross.
Need to win that, and we do. What on earth is going on there? Player didn't want it.
Gets wrestled off the ball.
That's good. Good hunger by the midfielder.
Werner with good energy in defence as well.
Well, they say that your front lads should be that first line.
He checked his run, and really he didn't have to.
I think he's taken it to another level with his desire to get back and help everyone out.
That's well won.
Hoists it high.
Lobbed through ball. Gnabry's not going to be able to get onto it, unfortunately.
Looking to hit the front line. In the end, they found themselves penned in. Nowhere to go. Chan.
Very hesitant from the midfielders.
Your impression so far, Jim?
Peter, they're leaving nobody guessing now. This is a decisive attempt to go further in front.
Brandt.
Rudiger on his left foot. It's not his natural foot, but he puts in a half-decent cross. Unfortunately, nobody able to get to it before Russia mop it up.
Hoists it forward. No way through.
Good header. Not a good pass, though. They've let the Russians in. That's good defending,
top defending and preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
Brandt.
The Russians are very quick to get onto the ball at all turns.
Half an hour gone in the second half.
Peter, they have to fight the onset of desperation and keep enough cool heads to still deliver.
I don't know what I was doing
Great
there.
strength, too strong for his opponent.
Oh,
And help's
Gordon
available
Bennett.
out wide. Loses
That's
his
well
balance and loses the ball.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
What on earth?
Henriks. Germany leading here by this still precarious 1-0 margin.
Incisive through ball.
Look at the
Rudiger's going to
defender
struggle on his
bombing
left.
forward.
He manages to get in a half-decent cross again.
Tries to clear.
Does all right. Really struggling without a natural left footer pushing through for
And it's Royce.
the attacking fullback role.
Into the last 5
He's
minutes.
going to have to play more as an inverted fullback.
Almost there, and the players can
Unfortunately,
feel it.
the game doesn't really allow for that kind of tactical nuance.
Gnabry.
That's nice. That's very
It's
nice.
come through.
Ah, he just couldn't turn on it
Great
quickly enough.
defending, that needed doing.
Germany can afford to settle on seeing this
We
one
could
out by
be,
running down the
yeah,
clock.
there's an
I think.
overload on here. If we're not careful, we could pay the price.
Ball through
Good
needs
through
to be
ball.
good here.
Well intercepted.
Russia
Puts
with
it out
corner
for a
and
corner.
hardly any time left on the clock.
Don't really want to make a change at this point. It wouldn't serve much
Rudiger appears to be
use
in some
anyway,
real
but Rudiger
discomfort.
is
Is it
limping
his
now,
leg?
so we are going to
Yeah,
be forced
maybe
into
a
it.
touch of cramp, Peter. Hopefully,
Except
nothing
that
more
the
serious than
the
that.
game has not
He's
allowed
gonna
us to make the
continue, it
change.
seems, albeit a little gingerly.
And that will do 1-0. It's not perfect, but it is a result nonetheless. It's 3 points on the board, and Germany have creaked
Well, they've
into
laid down a
first
marker with
gear
such a
here.
good opening win, and they're saying
At
to the
Celtic
rest of the
Park,
group, we're
apparently
intent
in
on
Qatar.
staying at the top. On this evidence, I think there's every chance too.
So that will do for the first match of the World Cup. See there the stats heavily in Germany's favour. The first half, though, really not good enough, and we're going to have to do something about that. Everybody doing decently enough, except for Henriks, and no real surprise given his performance on the right-hand side. So here are the rest of the results from Matchday 1. The Netherlands beat Switzerland, Chile beating Australia 1-0, Italy and Croatia, that's a 2-0 result for Italy, Algeria drawing with the USA. There's our match against Russia, 1-0 to Germany, Cameroon and Argentina, that's a bit of a surprise draw there, 2-2. Belgium 4, Slovenia 2, the Belgians starting as they mean to go on. Costa Rica beating United Arab Emirates 2-0. Spain were 4-1 winners against Serbia. Nigeria, there is a shock result. That's the biggest shock of the day here. Nigeria 3, Brazil 1. What on earth is going on there? Portugal losing to Poland 1-0. Qatar in their home World Cup in Scotland, strangely, winning 1-0 against Colombia. I think that can be considered to be something of an upset as well. Colombia, traditionally much more of a football team than Qatar. France winning 3-0 against the Czech Republic. Ivory Coast and Mexico playing to a bore draw 0-0. England getting a 4-2 victory over the Greeks. And Uruguay taking 3 points from Saudi Arabia, scoring exactly the same number of goals, 3-0. So there's our group. You can see that we also have Cameroon and Argentina in our group, so it was vital that we get those 3 points on the board early. Argentina is going to be a very, very difficult game for us. Let's have a look at the rest of the groups. I won't read out everything that's going on there, but you can always pause the video if you want to see what's going on in these other groups. England getting not too bad of a group actually. You'd expect them to beat Saudi Arabia. Uruguay could be a difficult proposal, but England, looking at it, really should be getting through to the knockout stages. Right, and with the first round of the World Cup out of the way, it's now time to have a look at what is going on at Newcastle. So straight away you'll see here that we offered new contracts to Nkunku, Schubert, Ribéry, Mathieu, And there are a couple of other players whose contracts will be expiring fairly soon, like Xavi, who we haven't been able to offer contracts to yet because of the fact that they were on loan. So Nkunku is happy to sign his contract. He's gone up from 28 to 48 grand, but it is a 5-year contract, so I'm perfectly happy to allow that to go through. Schubert, who will be the one of the 2 goalkeepers that's definitely staying with us, is getting a 5 grand raise, and he'll be signing a contract which will also keep him at the club for the next 5 years. Frank Ribery is signing an extension for the next 3 years. We've also, it looks like, had an offer, a loan offer, for 6 months for £14 million. Well, we'll accept the contract, and then we will also accept the terms of the transfer, because if we're going to rebuild this team, we're going to need some money. Apparently winning the Champions League has given us bugger all in terms of extra funds. Maybe they'll be released to us when the next monthly report comes in. Mathieu also very happy to sign for the club. His new contract for 21,000 includes a release fee of 47 million. He's currently worth 34, so again, very, very happy to be having him sign that contract. So there we go. Right, now, what else is going on with the team? Well, you'll see that Bodmer has been put on the loan list. We're going to move him out on loan and try and get in a player that can play at the base of midfield, give some competition to Hayden, and potentially will be his replacement in the next few years, because just looking at Hayden, he's not going to go down. He's only 27, but, you know, sooner than later we're going to need to replace him, and we could probably, as much as I love Hayden, and anyone that's been watching this show, this series for a while, will know that I'm absolutely on the guy's dick. At some point soon we're going to need to upgrade him, and that is part of the reason why Bodmer is going to go out on loan, because otherwise he's just going to have his legs. He's basically, in the parlance of the great Arsene Wenger, he'll be murdered. I think that was what he said. You don't want to kill his career, essentially. So Bodmer is probably going to be leaving us on loan. There's a few American teams that are interested. I imagine that one of them will be coming in for him in the near future. Dani Alves also we're going to be putting out on loan if we can. Reason being, I will mention, I'll say in a minute, place on loan list, there we go. The reason being, if you just look at Dani Alves and Juanfran in terms of as defenders, Juanfran is a much more solid defender. So here's Juanfran's defensive awareness 76, ball winning 79. Dani Alves defensive awareness 70, ball winning 72. Now there are things about the players that make them each unique and good players. Dani Alves probably a better passer of the ball, a better overall attacking player. Juanfran's got great speed and great acceleration. His ball control is good. His passing's not brilliant, but his lofted pass, which is in basically, when we play football, it tends to be that the fullbacks get forward and put lofted crosses into the box. So a lofted pass is actually more important than low passing accuracy for a fullback playing in the system that we use. So Dani Alves is going to go out on loan this season. Juanfran is going to stay in the team. He's going to be the backup for Henriks. Xavi is going to be playing a part for us this season. He's more than good enough to be playing a part. We have sometimes struggled a little bit in the middle of the park. We definitely want someone who can spray the ball around a bit more. Nkunku's passing is good, but at times it can be really spotty. So we're going to give Xavi a go for the first half of the season. Depending on how he does, he'll either stay with us or maybe we'll put him back out on loan, or if we get a really good offer for him, because bear in mind he's worth £40 million, if we get a good offer for him, then he might not stay with us, but we'll see how he goes. Mathieu and Willems, our two options at left back. Obviously Mathieu as well is capable of covering centre back, so those two players not going anywhere. Paredes, I'm going to play him a little bit and see how he is. but I think he may well end up going back out on loan again this season. Coco is definitely still in my plans, but he is no longer going to be a first choice player for us. I've already put Vinicius Jr. in as our first choice starting right winger this season. Obviously, depending on how things go, that can change. Looking at other players that we have, Shelvey, I owe Shelvey a lot. He's going to stay with us until his performances don't justify it anymore. But despite the fact that he's only rated at 77, I genuinely believe that he is such a vital part of our midfield and the way that it functions. So he's going to be sticking around, as is Jefferson Farfan. Just look at the versatility of the guy. He can play left, right, centre, midfield, up front. He can play everywhere. He's a player that is going to be very useful for us from the bench this season, so we're going to keep hold of him. Tadibo, another player who has been promoted to the first team. He now is playing alongside Hummels as our first choice pairing in the centre of the park. Almiron we're going to keep hold of. Hayden definitely keeping hold of. Lascelles, I have made him available for transfer, but only if someone offers us the money that he's worth. He's currently rated 17 million. I want to get 17 million for him. When we get that money, when we get an offer in for him, we will be making a move for another centre-back. I have my eye on someone. I'm not going to mention who yet because we've not placed a bid. But I'm interested to see how he'll fit in. I think he'll play well for us, but I'm not going to say too much about him until we know what's going on elsewhere. Dubravka, he's another player that we're open to reasonable offers on. I'm sure that there will be a suitor for him and they'll come in for him in short order. Again, I have irons in the fire as far as goalkeepers concerned, so bear with me. Let's see what happens on that front. Nkunku, Joelinton, both staying with us. Hummels is an interesting one. If we get a ridiculous offer for him, I might be open to letting him go. That being said, he's 34. Until he hits 35, he's not going to go down too much at all. So I've got a feeling that we could keep hold of him until the age of 36 and he would still be an incredibly important player for us. But depending on the offers that we get in and the players that become available, he may end up moving on. I don't want to move him on, but if the stars align and we're made aware of a player who could replace him, then it might be time to wave goodbye to him. Timo Werner, there's nothing on God's green earth that would make me get rid of that guy. He's absolutely incredible. The whole reason that we won the championship last year in my mind is Werner's goals. 29 goals in the Premier League. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Neither is Henriks, neither is Junior, and I think we all know my feelings on Maximan. I'd marry the dude if I could. So that's that. That is everything that's going on with the squad at the moment. Obviously, I'll keep you versed on everything that is going on with the team as we progress through this World Cup in 2022. But until then, the time has come for me to say goodbye. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.